Next, we have Josh. He's going to join us. He's been a member a little bit longer. He is doing only single family, which is absolutely fine. And he's become somewhat of a rock star himself as well because Josh, tell us a little bit about yourself first, and then we're going to show how you bought some houses a couple years ago and you kind of went gangbusters here in 2020.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got started. I graduated as a mechanical and electrical engineer a while ago, and immediately after college, I started working at a startup company. And it took a while, but 5 or 6 years into it, I started to realize like that corporate ladder that you climb, there's really wasn't another rung for me to go up. So I started looking around for some other opportunities. I had started looking into starting my own business or starting a franchise. It was about that time that my dad had told me about Del Walmsley. He'd been listening to the radio for a number of years. So we went to a seminar, and I think that, it just really made so much sense to me. Him and we both signed up at the same time about 3-4 years ago. He's actually multifamily right now. I think he's in 15, 17 deals.
Wow.
But yeah, when I started, I really didn't think I had, enough cash to get going with this. But thinking about it, I had done all the supposedly right things. I had put away a lot of money towards my house. I had paid off my cars. So I realized I was able to refinance those or sell them. And, that's how I got started with the first 2 properties.
Well, good. Yeah, you looked at that untapped capital, the things that you had that weren't making you any money, and put it to work.
Right.
I love that. Okay, we actually kind of just talked about some of these things, but is there anything else on this slide that you wanted to, especially the being skeptical?
Yeah, I mean, that's just doing some research into some of the other things, reading some books. But when I went and listened to Dave give his presentation, it just, even today, it rang home, like word for word, exactly what I'm doing with my job, just looking at a computer 8 hours a day, and looking for a way out. So.
And you paid a lot of money to be able to do that, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
That college degree. But that's okay. Hey, they can't take that away from you, and that's still good. But yeah,
No,
absolutely.
I mean, I still love what I do. I mean, even if I retire with lifestyles, I will probably stay in and continue doing some sort of work in some way. It just gives me that freedom to say, I want to work where I want to work.
You hit the nail on the head right there. It's the freedom.
Once you have enough money coming in, and then when they say mandatory overtime or whatever, you have the freedom to say no to your boss. Well, now you can't. So that is a cool thing.
Yeah,
awesome.
Freedom. Okay, let's get into your portfolio here a little bit. Tell us about when you started back here in 2017. You got a few properties. Tell us a little bit about this one.
So I found this one on the ready to buy list, and this one actually had a tenant in it. I think she was paying $500 a month, which was way under the market value for the house. So my plan was to go in, do a rehab, and then list it out. But after talking to the tenant, we just came to an agreement. I would slowly do rehabs for her. I would improve floors, do cabinets, AC units, water heater, just over time, and that would get it to a point where I could rent it back out to her. And she was very happy about that because she's lived in the house for 20 odd years, just renting this whole time.
So is she currently the one paying $1,300 rent?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. I had someone that was buying a property the other day or they were thinking about getting rid of their property because they said, I've been remiss. I haven't been following the lifestyles model, didn't increase the rent as I should. And now it's going to take a big bump for me to come to these tenants and say that. And I said, you know what? They're probably expecting it because they know when they're getting a good deal. Yeah, so I'm glad she was able to stay. And there again, it's that win-win situation. You provide her a good, clean, safe, dependable place in which to live, and they're going to pay you the appropriate, fair amount of money.
Yep.
Well, good. That's a nice little house. Where did you? That one's in Garland. Okay.
Garland. Yep.
All right. And your next one?
The next one is actually, I bought that at the exact same time. I would, like a week after I had agreed to get that first one, I was telling Lee, you know, I'm actually looking to buy two, and I was able to buy two from the same seller. So these both came from, this one was technically an off-market deal. He hadn't listed it yet, but selling it as a package, he was willing to do that. This one came, it was, I think he had already gone through most of the rehab, so there's only a couple things left to do, and it was basically ready to go the day I got it.
Nice, nice. Okay, and then you kept adding to your property. So I'm seeing that you've got like 1949s, and then you go up to 2020s here.
Right. So 2 years go by. I think I went and took a cash out refinance on both those houses, and that was able to fund these next two properties, which again I bought simultaneously together. They're both new construction. I think they look fantastic inside and outside too.
Hold on a second, Joshua, because I looked at the slides before. How much money could you pull out of those houses? Did they go up in value, or how did that happen? I'm a little confused.
Yeah, they both went up considerably in value. I wasn't really expecting it to go that much. I mean, it's sort of unbelievable how much they went up. But.
Right. So you know, we talk about there's 5 ways to make money in real estate, and I can't go through everything tonight, but one of the ways we go up is called appreciation. And typically in the Dallas market right now, Lori will correct me if I'm wrong because I look at a lot of different markets. The houses right now are going up about 10% a year on average, right? So if he's 30,000 out of pocket, it's not 10% on his 30,000. It's 10% on the ARV. So if it's worth 150K, that's 15,000 a year. If he put out 30,000, he's literally making 50% a year till he went up enough that he could pull money out of this house. I just want the new people to understand that's what he's talking about. We don't have that in the slides, but that's what it sounds like you did, correct?
Right. Yeah, I was actually expecting to get a little bit more, but I didn't realize at the time that when you do a cash out refinance, you can only pull out 85% instead of or 75% instead of it. You know.
I was going to say, who's your lender?
Yeah.
But see, Joshua was being greedy. He wanted to pull out even more money. But no, it's you're being conservative. You're leaving 25% equity in there for the what ifs in life. There's nothing wrong with that, Josh. It's the fact that you pulled out all that money. It's great. And now you got more assets making more money, just like Monopoly.
Yeah,
Right.
well, you doubled them. You doubled your assets with the first two that you had. And I always like I use this like the Aesop fable, the goose and the golden egg. You were able to keep your two original geese, and they're laying golden eggs for you. And then you went out and bought more. You didn't have to sell it and be done with it and buy another one and keep trading and trading. You just doubled altogether.
Yeah, and these are really outperforming my expectations too, because when I ran the numbers, I based it on a $13.25 a month rent, and OmniKey got it rented for me for $1,500 a month.
That's really good. So that's a nice property. And that one there, my gosh, 18% cash on cash. So your cash flow is going up. I know insurance certainly on those new builds is a lot less. Yes. From your expenses. And so that's great. Your cash flow is going up. You still have the cash flow of those other two. Let's see the fourth property.
Yeah, and also, you know, for the folks that are out of state, how safe would you feel having something that's built in 2020? I mean, what can go wrong? Are there warranties on these, Joshua, or no?
Yeah, this one came with a year-long warranty, so I've utilized it for a couple of things, but
safety net for you.
Mm-hmm.
So the third and fourth property, they are actually identical floor plans bought from the same builder, so they are exactly identical in every way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. And there again, those returns, yeah, those are beautiful. So that stage, were those some of the builder photos?
Yep.
Yeah, but still beautiful, nice, clean, everything, you know, just enough space that a family would need. Okay, so this is how it all comes together with all four of them, huh? Mm-hmm. You want to talk a little bit about that? Well, obviously we can see your four cash flows equal close to $2,000 a month. You just gave yourself a $21,000 a year raise.
Yep, I love it. I don't actually pull any money out. I take this and I reinvest it. So I'm hoping to grow these as quickly as I can.
And just so for the people that are watching, Josh, so you're an engineer, correct?
Mhm.
That's
Yes.
the most excited I have ever seen an engineer. I mean, he's jumping up and down. He's being excited right now. You just don't know it yet.
No, that's awesome, Josh. You not only have that equity in them, but then, like you said, you're putting your monthly cash flow. And that's what we say, even though technically it could be used to pay for an expense each house. But what we want you to do is just get that snowball rolling so that you're adding more and more and more. Use that cash flow toward the next one and the next one and the next one. Then pretty soon, all your properties are paying for the next one that you buy. You don't even have to worry about coming up with more capital money and seed money. So I think you've done a fabulous job. Are you looking at more new builds? Or are you still looking out for some other properties? What's next? I think that's probably going to come on the next screen.
I would be interested in doing a full rehab. I haven't done one yet. They've all been new construction. They just, when I look at the numbers for them, they just all look enticing enough. And I enjoy not having to head out there and do all those repairs.
So Joshua, just really quick, because you were making 18% on new build. I mean, that's awesome. Before Lifestyles, when you were investing in your 401k and your IRA and your TSP or whatever letter of the alphabet the government told you should buy in your little wheel at work, were you making those type of returns like 18% tax-free income? Were you doing that?
Cryptocurrency? No.
What's that?
Cryptocurrency? No.
Yeah, that pays no cash flow. I mean, 18% return is pretty awesome. So, you know, that's what I want everybody watching is compare the returns you're making. He's making 13% across the board, tax-free. I mean, it's huge. Plus, he's going up in value, like Lori said. I mean, he's just building right towards the retirement. He already replaced 20,000 of his income, you know, and that's tax-free income. So it's like 30,000 if you pay taxes. Pretty
And
impressive.
then Dave, like you said, that 10% appreciation each year now on these four. I mean, it just keeps going exponentially. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm sure. What are these new builds? Are they $200,000 properties? How much do you think they're worth? What's the ARV right now?
They are, let's see.
Oh,
Well, you
here
paid
comes
around 147, was it?
150.
Yep.
So
I think market value, I think 160.
yeah, so I mean, if 150, they're going to go up 15K a year probably. So I mean, not bad. Dallas is expanding. It's doing great.
Yep. And there again, you did it with the help of a team going in. Obviously, you didn't have as many team members because it was pretty easy peasy getting in there and doing it. But you had your agents helping you. Rick actually helped you through. He does a lot of new build acquisitions, so that he was the perfect mentor to kind of walk you through those.
Yeah, there's
And
definitely one or
let's
two
go.
times through the first property where I definitely got cold feet, and they helped walk me through and show me what's going on and why you might want to keep it in or not.
Yeah. So even when you're going through a deal like this that really doesn't require a whole lot of anything of us, sometimes just being that second set of eyes or that motivation or knowing that, yeah, I've done this before, you're good. Just kind of holding your hand through it really helps.
And this is what's neat about having such a diverse team. Like she mentioned, Rick. Rick does a lot with the new builds like this. But if you want to buy a big fixer up that's huge, that's where Lori comes in. Lori's an expert at that. So it doesn't matter if your member is doing a big fixer upper or they have that experience, you have that team behind you. So these kind of easier deals here.
Well, Joshua, you said, oh, well, I'm thinking about maybe doing a large rehab, and I was going to say just for the fun of it, because that's why I would do it, because
Yep.
it's fun, for the fun of it. Okay. Okay, let's get back to talking about your life. What's been going on here?
Yeah, I mean, it's just I see a light at the end of the road, so that's what I'm looking for, and that's what I'm hoping for. So.
Weight off your shoulders.
Right.
Just knowing. Mm-hmm.
It's probably an LED light too, because you're in engineering, not an incandescent bulb.
Well, you've been doing that. Do you have you're going to grow your portfolio? Do you have any aspirations to go into multifamily?
Yeah, that would be the next step for me. If I can retire
Yeah, I
on
can see that on
single
that
family,
slide.
I move into the multifamily and join with what my dad is doing. So.
Yeah, that's the next logical step on interdependence. Absolutely.
Josh, you mentioned your father. Is he a member too?
Yes, he's a multifamily investor.
Okay, that's kind of cool because that's another thing I didn't even know what was going on. There's a little bit of legacy effect there. Then that's kind of cool.
We actually joined at the same time, so
Okay.
I sort of pushed him to join a little bit at the same time. So
Wait, did he pay for your membership?
no,
Oh, okay. He doesn't love you that much. I just want to
no.
be sure.
Well, I got, yeah.
That's cool. That's pretty neat. I like that. Okay, cool. All right. You ready to take some questions, Josh?
Sure.
Okay. Danielle?
So the first question I have is from Shashi, and it says, are these properties on the MLS or are these only exclusive to lifestyles?
Yes, I found them all through the ready to buy list. So they all came through Lifestyle Really.
Perfect. Let's see the next
So real
question.
quick, for people that are new, when you come to my summer this weekend, I'll explain how we have Lifestyles Realtors. We have email blast. The first member got one through an email blast, I believe it was, and he got it through what's called a ready to buy program. So we have off market deals that our agents find for people, and they're not on the market. So it's kind of cool to get pocket deals. Okay, and I'll explain more about that this weekend.
Okay, next question I have is from Kenneth, and Kenneth said, were your initial numbers showing that great cash on cash return on the new construction house, the 2020 build house?
The initial calculations I did were around 9 to 10% returns. So I mean, just looking at the sheets that and doing my estimates, knowing that there wasn't going to have any major repairs right off the bat, and nothing was going to be coming up for the next few years because it's all new construction with the warranty. It 8-9% looked really good to me. So.
Yeah, remember, everybody has different goals. He wanted a solid, easy deal. I've got a busy job. I don't want phone calls. So this was the perfect plan for him.
Kimberly asks, were you able to negotiate a bigger discount to buy 2 new builds since you were buying 2 at the time?
I did not. No, I bought them at the asking price. I think they were really good deals. You could actually go on and the MLS, and he had some others listed. They were the same exact property, but they were listed for more. So it was a deal.
Yeah, and that's a really good question, Danielle. I just wanted to expand on that just a little bit. That's a great question because we don't really do a whole lot of negotiating. When a deal is a good deal, that's when you act on it. So for all those out there that are kind of new to this, it's a win-win situation. We don't want to go down so low to where we don't get the property because someone else is going to be willing to pay more for it. We want that sweet spot where we know we're going to make money and we're not going to go any farther over that, but we don't want to get greedy and we don't want to be stupid and pay too much. So it's that fine line. And when you've got a good deal that's already been negotiated by the Lifestyles agent, you move forward. That's a great.
Yeah, and that's something I'll teach in a seminar, and everybody's blown away by it. They go, how much do we offer on this property? I say full price or more. I don't say lowballing. If you lowball, it's a very competitive market in Dallas. There might be 20 offers. I want you to be on the top of the stack, not with the other 20 people. And we teach that. If you can't make a 10% return or 8% return, then you don't do the deal. There's 20 other ones. You find the right deal. Great point, Lori.
Next question I have is from Ronald, and he said, Joshua, can you explain how you were able to pull out the cash and use it to purchase other single-family homes?
Yeah, so I went to my lender after doing some estimates online and making sure that there was value in the house. They send out an appraiser, and as long as it's gone up, I was able to refinance at the higher rate, given the 75%, and then that's how you can take it out.
Here's a simple explanation for people that don't understand. Let's say you bought the house in 2017, it's worth 100K, and then just round it up, let's say it went to 200,000 5 years later. It went up in value. That's how he could pull out the extra money. Houses naturally go up in value, and that's what he took advantage of.
Next question is from Bill. And Bill said, hey, Joshua, on that 2020 home, why did you spend $300 on rehab?
I just changed some locks. I just put in just to bring it up to rental codes. The stuff I would put on my house, double locks on the doors and to the garage door as well. So just
Yeah, basically making it rent ready.
right.
Yeah, as a rental. He wasn't buying it as a primary. And we always say, I'm sorry to interrupt, Daniel. We always say when you're going in, there's never a deal where you go in and expect zero. You'll always find something that you want to do. So always pad your numbers no matter what. There's never a rent ready at zero. So, but pad it with 500 and maybe spend 3.
Kenneth asks, how much do you need to save for unexpected expenses for 4 houses?
Well, the two 2020 properties, they have a full year warranty, so I don't really need to keep a whole lot on hand for that. But the other ones, I think I keep close to 3-4 months worth of rent on.
Yeah, the lender's going to require you to have reserves, so that's what you can go by.
I like this question. Rebecca asks, do you save the cash flow every month, use it to buy another property, or do you reinvest the money as they cash flow? It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. I have it set up in a separate account, so it's not going in personal accounts. When the rent checks come into account, the payments go out of the same account, and everything just stays separate from my personal assets. So.
And folks, that's a personal choice. Some people, it's like Lori was saying, the goose and the golden egg. Never touch the goose, never touch the equity. That's for your next deal. The cash flow is to pay for your bills. But Josh is a young guy. He's saying, I'm saving everything. I'm even saving the cash flow so I can get money. He wants to retire quicker, and that's the best and fastest way. Doesn't mean that's the right one for you, but that's the right one for Josh. Okay.
Kimberly asked, what kind of financing did you use for these new builds?
There was all conventional financing.
Frank asked, he said, Joshua, great single family presentation. Have you considered multifamily passive?
I have not. I do need to save a bit more money to invest in that, but I hope to be able to do that in a couple of years.
You're well on your way.
Kimberly asked, how are your rentals managed and how are your tenants found? Do you use property management?
Yeah, so like the last presenter we had, I used OmniKey for tenant placement. They placed 4 tenants for me in the last 3 years, including the 2 for the 2020. And they just pay them their commission for placing the tenant, and then I take over management from there.
Let's see, I'm going through. We have a lot of states. I'm kind of sifting through to find some more good questions.
Yeah, let's find like 2 more at the most.
Okay, so here's one from Jim. It says, are new builds that get this rate of return hard to find?
Are they hard to find, Josh? I'm sure you've probably seen a few from us.
Yeah, I mean, I as soon as I started looking, I started seeing deals. I think it took 2 or 3 months before I found one that I was serious about. So they're there, I think. And
yeah, I know.
I bought them in July.
Agents, they
right
actually
after.
send multiple ones like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last question I'm going to ask is from Natalie, and she said, how long did it take you to find your residence?
It was about 30 days. It wasn't too long.
Okay.
Perfect. All right.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Josh, for sharing your story with us and your journey. And I know that we'll probably have you back in about another year and see the rest of your portfolio, and you'll be ready to jump into multifamily. Thank you.